I'm delighted to welcome Dan Sloan and Tom Perkins, the new co-chairman of Devizes Town Football Club. Congratulations on your new role. We'll talk a little bit about your ambitions for the club in a minute, but just starting off with you, Tom, can you tell us a little bit about your own journey that's brought you to the position of being co-chair, your relationship with Devizes Town Football Club?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Devizes lad, born and bred, played for the youth since God knows what age, as far back as I can remember. Never was good enough to play for the senior teams, and then I got the chance, off the top of my head, I think it was sort of 7-8 years ago now, to get involved with the football club on the management side. I come in and manage the first team with Darren Walters for 4 seasons, and we had a great time. Really enjoyed it. Like everything with managers, it ran its course, but we felt that we left the club in a better place than when we joined it. So I've been and done a bit of everything really. Like I said, I played for the youth, managed the team. And now it's time to get involved with off the field things really. The opportunities come along. We presented an offer to Neil and Sean, which they accepted and the committee accepted, and we're here to push the club on.
Excellent stuff. Now Dan, obviously I know you played with distinction for the club for many years, but what can you tell us a little bit about your journey with the club?
I was really come up here as an under 9s, Tom was there, a few others. They're still at the club now. Hopefully we're there to bring a few of them back to the club. Played all through the youth, played at a couple of other clubs, and then when Tom became sort of manager, I was there again, captained the club, and then sort of had to step away because I started a family. We've always joked about, why don't we go on to run the club? We spoke to Sean and Neil a few months ago, and they were sort of letting us know that they're thinking about stepping down, but they weren't too sure what they were going to do with it. And we got our heads together, and here we are today.
So, what on earth made you make that decision to take the club on, then, Dan?
A few beers. No, we just look at some of the other clubs and how well they've done around the sort of county in the last few years. I've always felt that Devizes has got a good base of people, and the ground itself is a great site. It just needed some, new ideas, fresh ideas, and some younger blood and faces to sort of take it to the next level. And I feel that, I know Tom's, whatever he sort of takes his hand to, he wants to go full hog, and I feel the same. So we thought, why not?
I mean, is that...
Yeah, just to allude pretty much what Dan's just said, we've taken some inspiration, if you like, from some of the Wiltshire clubs around the area. Obviously Melksham, been doing it for years now, got a great facility, pushed on, Southern League team. We've seen Cowan achieve promotion. I know they got relegated, not last season, the season before, but Cowan were doing well. Caution were obviously flying at the moment, great Vars on last season, really well run club from the outside looking in. Westbury again, I mean Westbury when I was here sort of 6-7 years ago managing, they were the whipping boys of the league, and now they're a Southern League team just purely because people have got involved, time and effort. It shows what can be done, and we believe that with us coming in, bringing some fresh ideas, we believe that we can get to that level. That's certainly our aspirations too. We know it's not going to happen overnight. It's not just a case of next season we're going to be all singing, all dancing. It's a project. But you've got to start somewhere, so we're going to start now.
And to be fair, you have done your due diligence, haven't you? I mean, I appreciate what you've said about sort of taking, expressing an interest in the role, but this is a process that started some time ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken to Neil and Sean. Both me and Dan get on really well with Neil and Sean. We've had dialogue for a few months now. And it is a massive commitment. Both myself and Dan have got families. You've got to run things past your missus, make sure everything they're going to be happy with spending time away and stuff like that. But ultimately, we've got the support. Our passion is football. Our passion is Devizes. So we've got the wheels in motion with Neil and Sean, and spoke to the committee members. They like the sound of our ideas. and here we go.
Dan, obviously this season has been a better season for the club than they've endured in recent campaigns, and of course culminating in that relegation from Step 6, and it looks like Step 6 is where the club's heading back. So was that part of your motivation? Did you think, right, if we're going to go back into the National League system, now is the time for us to really sort of make a statement?
Definitely, you know, before the start of the season they were struggling, they weren't sure who was going to be the manager, who was going to be the players. George has come in, you know, he's assembled a great sort of team for where they are, and they've done a great job, you know, got promotion. They've just missed out on the league to Trowbridge, you know, on games that they probably should have won. They beat Trowbridge twice in the league, I think, you know, and they've got a cup final on this Saturday. So all in all, you know, they've done a great job. And for us, I think getting the promotion was the one. When we saw that it was definitely going to come on, we didn't want to be down in with the Wiltshire League. Devizes don't belong there, especially their first team, and we're playing other reserves. So it's nice that they're back up there, and like I said, really this is the sort of starting block for us.
So Tom, what are your ambitions for the side?
Well, we've got some big plans. Our sole focus isn't just going to be on the first team. Obviously, we're going to have the reserve team, possibly a development team. We're going to integrate with the youth. So it's not all about the first team, but you know, ultimately we want to have a successful football team. We're a football club. We want to have a successful football team. One of our first targets, if you like, was to get some new management in, with George resigning a few weeks ago. And we've achieved and secured our number one targets for that, which is a great start for us, and we felt that was really important for what we want to do, and it's going to set a great, you know, standard for what we want to do next season. With regards to targets, you know, we're starting, we're coming in fresh to this, and there's going to be a bit of turmoil at the club, a bit of upheaval here and there. It's not going to be a smooth ride or anything like that. So with regards to targets for the first team, we want to consolidate our position in either the Hellenic or Tool Station, whichever league we end up going into. And people want to come and watch good football. They want to watch your local side winning games. You know, I'm not coming in to float around the bottom of the league, you know, but first season, ultimately consolidate our position, build and upon the squad that's already here, the promotion winning squad. They're going to have to add a few players to that, ultimately. And then going forward, you know, in our second, third season, yeah, we want to win the league. We want to, or at least achieve promotion, being in and around the playoffs maybe. But we're not going to get too carried away to begin with. We know that's going to be sort of 2-3 years down the line.
Now, Dan, this isn't the first time you and I have done interviews together, and of course previously we had the pleasure of speaking about the relatively simple game of football.
That's
and
right.
Now, as co-chairman, you've inherited not only what goes on the pitch but also what goes off the pitch. So what are about the plans for the club off the pitch?
You know, we've sort of sat down with Ollie at the Wilts FA as well, and they're sort of on board of helping us. You know, it makes sense for a club, them based in Devizes. The Devizes have a good side. We want to work, like Tom sort of brushed on, bringing the youth back on is for me, because otherwise, you know, what's the point in having a youth if there's no pathway for them? We can't keep going out and getting players. There's some really good young players in Devizes that have been elsewhere in the last few seasons. We want to bring them back and make it a family place. You know, we're going to do a bit of work on the clubhouse in the summer. We want to make it more welcome for families, not come up and sit in a dark, dingy sort of space where it's just a load of sort of football jobs as it was back in the day. You know, I want to be able to bring my children up here. I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and hopefully in a couple of years, you know, one of them is going to be up here playing, if not both of them. Still early days, but the idea, you know, we want from under 7s all the way up to the first team, you know, a girls team, you know, a disabled team. The place is big enough to house everything, especially with Wilts FA there. We've got the pitches down there. There's no reason Devizes football cannot be a huge success throughout all of the age groups.
Tom, one of the messages I'm getting very strongly from Dan here is this sense of community, the link between the football club and the town of Devizes and all of its different the people that make it up. Is that very much sort of the ethos of what you're looking at?
Absolutely. Like you said, we want to make it a welcoming family environment up here, that anyone from the town can come up and enjoy watching a local game of football, have a nice drink behind the bar. You know, if they want to have a few beers on a Saturday, or they want to bring their kids up and, you know, have a look around the place, that's what we want. for one reason or another, and I don't know why because I haven't been involved, but you know, it's been a little bit disjointed with the community and the town itself and the club. And you know, like I said, we're not expecting to mend that overnight, but we certainly want to bridge that and, you know, encourage people to come up here, because if we've got a thriving football club, you know, people will want to come up here, and if people are coming up here generating the club revenue and we can make improvements around the place, you know, that snowball effect happens, and you know, it's going to be a big part of what we want to do.
So then, Dan, we want people to get involved with the club.
That's
we
right.
want people to come up to Nurstead Road and watch football next season. If there are people listening to this and they're excited by this new era that you're presiding over, what would you like the citizens of Devizes to do? What's the call to action? Can people? Are we looking for volunteers on a match day? Are we looking for people to get involved in the club?
Always, we want anyone that wants to help and, you know, get involved in a community project, because this is what it is effectively. It's not just about the football, it is about, you know, having something in the town for people to enjoy. You know, Devizes is a small sort of market town. There's not much in there. If you want to go and do, you know, anything really, you have to get in your car and leave Devizes. What I'll say is, come up here, sort of start the season, see what we've done over the summer and give us a chance. And hopefully we won't disappoint.
And Tom, if there are businesses in the town that want to support the club financially, I imagine their
100%.
support would be welcome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every football club needs that. If you look at the clubs that have been successful, you know, like I said, Melksham, Corsham, there's plenty of businesses and sponsorship packages that, you know, has helped them progress. And we can't do it on our own, ultimately. We need as many people, as many businesses involved with this project that we've got as possible. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. It is a project, but we are looking to make some immediate changes which people can see that we're going to be going in the right direction, and hopefully people do get on board with that. So yeah, we're looking at holding an open evening towards the back end of this month, once everything's sort of settled down a little bit, give everyone a bit of a break from the season that's just happened. There's got a lot of roles that need filling, because ultimately with a bit of change, you know, some of the committee members that have been here previously have resigned. So the committee is pretty small at the moment. So we're looking to build a new committee. There's some key roles that need filling, and just, you know, general help. I mean, I've been around enough clubs now in my time as a manager to see the amount of people that do help out on match days and behind the scenes. And, you know, we need as many. Nobody will be turned away. And we need as many people to get on board as possible. And hopefully, once they can see our ambitions for the club, they'll do that.
Tom and Dan, thank you very much for your time. Great to hear your enthusiasm. It's an exciting time for the club. It's a new era for the club. And I look forward to catching up with you, I'm sure, many times over the coming season, bringing the supporters news of what we're doing here.
Yeah, spot on here. Thank you.
Thank you.